Hey guys, thank you for hanging out with me on this Wednesday afternoon here in Texas. Depends on where you are, of course. But realized from looking on my calendar today that it's a very significant day. And those of you that know me have heard bits and pieces of this story. But I keep getting messages from the universe that skimming over that day is not serving you and it's not serving me. So I just decided to turn the camera on and tell you about June 22nd, 2010. And I'm going to try to not cry because I just want to tell you the story. I'm going to try to not mess my makeup up. This is live. I'm not able to edit this, so forgive me if I get emotional. But usually, and I realized this yesterday, I was talking to someone about my story, and I want to skip this day when I talk about it. I just want to go from I was sick to I got better. And the stuff that happened in between, I call it the summer from hell for a reason. And I know that there's a lesson in there. So if you get a lesson from this today, great. If you don't, then thanks for listening anyway. Hopefully that you can have empathy for someone else that might have to go through something like this. So I'll give you just a little bit of the backstory. So I'm really going to delve into the middle area today. And it's an area that I'm very uncomfortable in. But I think that we just need to talk through it. So before this was when I was suffering from diastasis recti with multiple hernias from 2004, very end of 2004, had my first child, had diastasis recti so bad that it was extremely painful, and I was a fitness professional, so I continued doing all of the wrong things. And people told me to do all of the wrong things, including my doctor, the people that I was working with, everybody. So I made it worse, gave myself hernias, and ended up on a surgeon's table. Stop, because that's where we are today. June 22nd, 2010 was the day that I was wheeled into surgery. And before that, I'm thinking, this is going to fix everything. It's going to make everything okay. I will jump up off of the table when I'm done, and all of the issues that I'd had are just going to be gone. They're going to be history. They're going to be sponged away, and I can be back to myself. Have you ever felt that way? Like, when this happens, I'll be back to where I used to be. How much sense does that make? Because we're not going to turn back the clock, and who would want to? We have to move forward. So this is the messy center that got me moving forward. It was awful. So they marked me up where they were going to do all of this work, and I had no idea really how much work was going to be done. They informed my husband that it would be 6 to 8 hours, and that I'd be in the recovery room for a while. And hearing this, I had no idea. We were talking 6 to 8 hours, 2 surgeons. And I almost passed out, and so they calmed me down, and as they wheeled me down the hall, I was out. I have no idea how much time passed. All I know is that when I woke up, I thought I was dying. And a nurse was telling me to breathe, and I couldn't. And so I had these short little breaths, and I felt like someone was holding me in the middle, and I couldn't breathe. And I thought I was gonna die. And I was trying to explain to the nurse, I can't breathe. And she said, you have to breathe deeper, breathe deeper. And I'm like, I couldn't breathe. They knocked me back out. When I woke back up again it was unbelievable pain. It's the kind of pain that I imagine that people feel right before they die. I don't know. And so my husband had insisted that he could come in to see me, even though he really wasn't supposed to be in the recovery room. He would later tell me that he'd never seen a look like that on my face. After the recovery room, I swear I'm not skipping a whole lot because I don't want to skip anything. They wheeled me into the room that I would be in for the next 2 days, and the pain was awful. They had me on morphine, and I had oxygen in my nose, and my husband was sitting next to me, and I was trying to relearn how to breathe. This is coming from someone with years of experience as a musician and a fitness professional with breath. Yoga breath, Pilates breath, playing saxophone, singing, years of experience, right? Thank goodness they were pumping oxygen into me because I still felt like I could not breathe. And then came the time, the doctor came in and he said, you're gonna have to start moving around. I couldn't move anything. I felt like I was paralyzed. I couldn't lift my head. If I moved my arms, it hurt, and I felt like my legs had been cut off. I couldn't feel them, and I couldn't move them. So it took my husband and a nurse to move my legs, to walk me, moving my legs, to take 2 steps, and then to lay back down. And it took both of them to sit me down, to get my legs back on the bed, and to rest me against the back of the bed. I had to stay sitting up. I couldn't lie all the way flat. And this went on for 2 days. You know, they told me that I would be better in 2 days, and I really wasn't. I could not control or move my own muscles, my own body at all. I was like a paralyzed person. June 22nd, the phone rings, and sorry, I knew my dad was coming back from a trip to a cancer hospital, and they were going to tell him whether or not they could help him. He had mesothelioma. This is the same day. And I hear my husband say, okay, yeah, I'll tell her. And he got off the phone, he said, your dad's gonna be fine. And he was lying. And I knew he was lying. I could hear it in his voice, but I let him lie. And I didn't argue with him, and I didn't ask. My dad went into hospice on that day, and he died 6 weeks later. So, that's another story, like for another day. We get out of the hospital, and so I'd spent 2 nights there, and I have to have help to the car. I have to have help into the car. I have to have help out of the car. And I was stuck in a forward bend. There I would stay for 4 months. I was stuck in a forward bend for 4 months. I couldn't lay down flat. I had to have help standing and sitting down, help walking to the bathroom. I couldn't lift my own children. I really couldn't do anything but sit and feel sorry for myself for the first couple of weeks. I didn't get to take a shower. I didn't get to wash my hair for 3 weeks in the summer in Texas. That's what I wanted to tell you about today. I think that's enough to absorb. That is a very messy middle. That it was the low point. And everybody has to have one. That was mine. Another day we'll talk about my journey to recovery, because I don't want to skip over that either. I'm not going to skip over it. The journey to recovery was awful. And there was nobody there to help me except for my husband, and he's not a physical therapist. I was not referred to anyone who could help me relearn how to use my muscles again. That was up to me. And that changed my life. Sometimes you have to go through something that awful to really change everything. It changed my whole course. It changed the way that I wanted my life to go, the people I wanted to serve, and the mission that I had. And it has changed everything. So thank you for listening to my messy middle story. I love you and respect you for sticking with me through that. If you have any questions or you need help with your situation, send me a private message, because I know it's hard to put your story out there for the world to see. Today is the day I was brave enough to do that. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.